You did your very first interview on this show 5 years ago. And I had to look back at the archives. Like, man, it's really been 5 years since I had you on the show. And, you've been doing big things since then, making a name for yourself on the independent scene. And I'm looking forward to catch up with you and see what you've been up to, man. So obviously things are slowly but surely getting back to some normalcy, at least here in this country. Um, so how's everything been with you with this pandemic and being having your wrestling shows on hold or cancel, and then now things back up and running? How you feeling these days, man?
I'm feeling good. I was one of the lucky ones that still got to wrestle a fair amount during the pandemic. Yeah, I did lose a lot of shows, like a lot of many other folks, but I didn't have a year layoff like a lot of the same guys, so that was a plus. And it actually opened up a lot of opportunities for me with the pandemic and some guys not being able to come in and show up or do whatever they had to do. So it kind of opened up the door for me to kind of sneak in on the back end of things and get into a couple of promotions that I would have probably on the normal circumstances had a harder time getting into.
So you doing being able to do some shows for the most part. Obviously, all these promote independent wrestling took a huge hit. Um, Not being able to do shows for a while, and wondering if they was ever going to do shows again. COVID-19 has taken a toll on us all, and now you got people going back to shows now with these protocols, not just for wrestlers, but for fans. For wrestlers, it's like you got to go through these, COVID testing before shows and then after shows, and how you've been able to adapt to these protocols through this whole time. How you've been dealing with that?
It's been a pretty, like I said, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to keep yourself safe. So, I mean, it's not. I know a lot of people don't like having to do the test over and over again, especially if you're doing shows back to back weeks and everybody's wanting an updated COVID test or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, a lot of people aren't liking doing that, but I mean, it's just what we have to do until things are a lot more better. And I mean, I see a lot of people getting their vaccines. I'll be getting my vaccine here soon as well, just to take another step forward and maybe be able to do some shows out of the country here soon.
That's encouraging to hear. I got my first dose a couple of weeks ago, and I'll be giving my second dose tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to seeing some familiar faces again on wrestling shows, and hopefully people are safe at the end of the day. That's definitely the number one priority, regardless of what you're doing in life, obviously. So, as far as your 2021, um, how do you feeling about what some shows you have coming up that people need to keep an eye on? What some shows that Phoenix Kid is going to be entertaining the crowd? What you have on tap for the next few weeks and months?
Okay. For the here in May, I have. Let's see. Let me pull up my calendar again. I had it up for a second.
All right.
But here on the 14th, I'll be in May 14th. I'll be in Denver. Then the 15th, I'll be in Colorado Springs. Then the following week, I'll be in San Jose for Agua, and then a couple weeks after that, here on June 4th, I'll be in what is it, Jeffersonville? Yeah, Jeffersonville, Indiana for Paradigm, and then after that, it kind of goes into a couple gaps where I'm still filling some stuff up. But those are the big things that I have coming up right this moment.
Gotcha. So everybody, go check those shows out. Um, Support independent wrestling. Go check out these shows if you are able to. I'm pretty sure for fans that's going to get the temp check just to make sure as a precaution.
Right, right.
But once you go through that, just follow the guidelines, enjoy the show, and everybody walks off happy for fans and performers. Um, so go check out these shows. So Phoenix, man, with things opening back up again and you being able to do a lot more shows, obviously. Um, so who are some people out there, at least on the independent scene, who is out there that you are so eager want to go out and compete against or work with, as far as promotions for the matter? What are some goals you have for yourself and in this year?
Um, as far as this year goes, it's pretty much open season. Not everything's open. I don't care who you are, what
Yeah.
gender you are. I'm here to get on the show and
Hmm.
wrestle and show that I'm the best. That goes for promotion wise too. As long as you have a good reputation and you're doing what you're supposed to be
Yeah.
doing on your end, I'm willing to do business. As far as 2022, I'm definitely looking at going back to Mexico. That might happen this year. We'll see. We're working that out right now. But I'm definitely for sure looking back to going back to Mexico and going back to Puerto Rico and hopefully doing some more things out there. Maybe even taking less bookings in the States and trying to do more outside of the country. But we'll see how things go once they get the vaccine and different things like that come into play.
Cool, man. So I definitely want to talk about the Mexico thing. Being able to be there and see the crowd and see the culture and the lucha libre style, man. For people that's never had that chance to be at a show like that, as far as that crowd, the audience, the atmosphere. From a performance perspective, like yourself, how would you describe that experience going to that Mexico show, the Lucha Libre and the mask and the crowds and the whole vibe that's out there? How would you describe your experience being at Mexico?
I feel it was probably one of the coolest experiences I've had. That and going to Puerto Rico, of course. Just both of them. The fans really love their wrestling. Even though it's an independent show, they make you feel like you're in WWE wrestling in Madison Square Garden. They're they really care about what's going on in the ring and where they boo you or cheer you at the end of the night. They care and they want to see you make sure you're safe and they want to make sure you're taken care of and they just love their wrestlers out there and it I that's like the easiest way to describe it because it's more than words can really describe. It's amazing.
That has to be a very good thing. Um, just the fans that's engage with with the show, with the performers. That has to be very encouraging because obviously y'all do what y'all can to perform and entertain. But when you see the fans' reaction, when the referee goes for that 1-2 count, and they be like, "Oh, 2 count," that
Right.
it feels like one thing I like about wrestling, especially for the wrestlers, I look at y'all as puppet masters because y'all control fans' emotions. No matter what you do or what you say
Right. Right.
or how you express yourself, man, they listen. They pay
Right.
attention and you just want to see how they gonna react to it. Especially if you're a heel, like you try to do what you can to get people against you, boo
Right.
and say all types of stuff, man. So I've always felt like, Mexican Mexico type wrestling, they have that passion. They have the love for it and if you give it your all, they're gonna give it to you right back. So um, that's
Exactly.
that's pretty dope, man, for sure.
And the
So
the best part is if you're slacking off there, they will definitely let you know that they feel like you're slacking off. So they will definitely keep you in check.
Yeah, that too, man. That feels like a Chicago type of crowd. I feel like, or Philadelphia.
Right,
it's some are hard to be pleased or be
right,
impressed. But that's the beauty of a performer, man. Like they may not think much, but when after that match done, they feel like, what, I like this person. Okay, I like what I see. I want to see more.
right.
See how they take their career to another level. So that's pretty cool. So Phoenix Kid, man, you are such a good talent, and I've been paying attention these last 5 years. These matches you've been doing, the traveling, the stories that you put out there. Um, and while I'm ending the show, I'm still gonna be engaged to wrestling. I'm still a fan at the end of the day. I'm a fan before this, and I'm a fan long after this show is gone. So I'll definitely be watching Independence, especially, and see what's next. And, Son Guy, he always gonna keep me in touch with what's going
Right,
on.
right.
So shout out to Son Guy for sure.
Yeah.
So as far as wrestling, man, like how do you feel about wrestling as far as moving forward and with maybe we get more people in attendance again, or maybe we get a full capacity again, and things should be back to some normalcy. How optimistic do you feel as far as at least in your neck of the woods, as far as the shows
Mhm.
that you're going to, how optimistic do you feel about things getting back to real normalcy? Whether it's okay, we can take out the mask now. You can actually see people's reaction. I know it had to feel different, doing these shows and doing these shows and you see a big move happening, like you see them, but you don't get to see that smile or frown and stuff, man. But how optimistic you feel about we get to 100% normalcy as far as restrictions, mandates? How you feeling about that?
I'm feeling by the beginning of next year we'll be good. We'll be good to go. A lot of people are doing what they need to do as far as taking care of themselves or getting the vaccine if they feel that's necessary. But I definitely feel by next year we'll be able to do a lot more, lot bigger venues, a lot more loosening up on things. I don't think it's going to be fully gone, but I think we'll be able to do a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So everybody, check out my friend Phoenix Kid. He is on Twitter at Phoenix
Mhm.
Kid CFR. That's Phoenix Kid CFR. And you're also on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Yes, yes.
And what's the
Yeah.
handle on
Instagram.
Instagram?
It's gonna be the same as Twitter. Phoenix Kid CFR.
CF. All right, Phoenix Kid CFR, Twitter and Instagram, and you got a Facebook fan page on Facebook, obviously. So go
Right.
check that out. Phoenix Kid, man, great chatting with you. Great having you back on the show. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you to all the independent wrestlers that's been on the show throughout the years and getting to hear your stories and catch up with you all, see what y'all been up to, man. Y'all make me very proud to be a wrestling fan and a wrestling radio host throughout these years. So, thank you, man, and continued success. Be safe, and hopefully one of these days I'll see you in person, man. I, I know Colorado. That's a long flight from Kentucky to Colorado, but we'll
Right.
see.
Right.
You
We're
never
we're
know.
we're, yeah,
You
we're working on Kentucky. We're
okay?
I'm in talks with some people right now, so we're working on it. Like I said, Indiana, I'm finally starting to get out there. So I mean, it's only a matter of time.
Okay, sounds good, man. Well, you take care of yourself. Be safe, and hopefully we'll see each other in the future.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, man.